Oh, we want to talk about one of the propositions I mentioned earlier that's gotten a lot of attention, not a lot of TV commercials, but certainly a lot of attention. This is Prop 85. That would prohibit an abortion for a minor, a girl under 18, until 48 hours after her doctor notifies her legal guardian or parent. We are going to talk with a couple of people on both sides of that. As you can see right now, it's losing. It is certainly not an overwhelming defeat at this point. We're going to talk to Dara Johnson with Planned Parenthood, who is against Prop 85. And Grace Delaney, who is with the Yes on 85 campaign. Let me start with you, Dara, if I could. If Prop 85 were to pass, what do you see happening?
Well, what we see happening is that we have an opportunity to continue to protect our young daughters. What Proposition 85 does is put the most vulnerable teens at risk. 70% of young people are already communicating with their parents about needing to use their parents as guides for getting advice and information about potentially terminating a pregnancy, and 30% are not. But it's those people, those 30%, 3 out of 10, that we need to protect.
What about the argument that you need to get a parental note to get a Tylenol from the school nurse, but you don't need one for an abortion?
Well, I think we're trivializing the issue when we're talking about a young person who's afraid of abuse in a home. They can ask their parent for a Tylenol. An unintended pregnancy is not the same thing as getting an aspirin from a school nurse.
Grace Delaney, let's get your take on this.
Well, in actuality, I think trivializing it is happening by the opposition. When you say that something as simple as an aspirin or any other medical procedure, a throat lozenge from a school nurse, an ear piercing, all of those things require parents' permission, and we're just looking for notification in a very serious surgical procedure, you're trivializing it by not requiring that. And that statistic that Dara threw out, that 70%, interesting that she brought it up again today, because this is an example of how the opposition twists the truth. If you look on their website, that particular study actually did not refer to girls asking permission to have an abortion or talking to their parents about it. It actually was a statistic that talked about girls who are discussing sex, which may be how a baby's born, or how to say no to sex with a parent. And so that is a twisted statistic. And those other 30%, the statistic that girls have said to Planned Parenthood fear violence in the home is actually less than 5%. And for those girls, they need Proposition 85 more than any, because they are at risk of abuse. And under current California law, they have a hush-hush secret abortion, and they're put right back into that same environment. So it protects them the most.
Grace, the second time we've seen this on the ballot in 6 months. Is it going to come back in another form if it loses tonight?
Well, last year when it was on the ballot, it was a special election. It was very close. We've awakened a sleeping giant. And this go around, when you look at the fact that Planned Parenthood outspent us about 15-1 in the campaign format of this, we are very proud that this has made it this far and is neck and neck right now in the polls. Very early on, 13% of the precincts have reported. And the fact that we're this far with a grassroots campaign strictly made up of volunteers who care about their children and their families, we're very excited, and we think we've educated people.
So very quickly, yes or no, if it loses, would it be back on a ballot again?
Absolutely. We've awakened a sleeping giant.
All right. Thank you very much, Grace Delaney, Dara Johnson. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. We're going to take a short time out. Come right back here to Golden Hall.